Are you a landlord in San Bernardino or Riverside County dealing with a tenant who isn't paying rent, or worse, refusing to leave? You're not alone. Today, I'll walk you through the California eviction process, step by step, so you know exactly what to expect. And pay close attention, because as of 2025, Assembly Bill 2347 has changed the rules, giving tenants more time to respond in court. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the big picture. An eviction in California follows the same basic roadmap, no matter which county you're in. Step 1. You serve the correct legal notice. Step 2. If the tenant doesn't comply, you file an unlawful detainer lawsuit. Step 3. The tenant has a chance to respond. Step 4. If it goes to trial, the judge decides. And Step 5. If you win, the sheriff carries out the lockout with a writ of possession. On average, the process can take 30 to 45 days. But if the tenant contests the case, it can stretch into 3 or 4 months. And in San Bernardino and Riverside counties, delays can be even more common. This is where most landlords make their first mistake. Using the wrong notice can set your case back weeks. If rent is owed, you serve a 3-day notice to pay rent or quit. If the tenant violated the lease, like having an unauthorized pet, you use a 3-day notice to perform covenant or quit. For serious violations, like illegal activity, it's a straight 3-day notice to quit. And if you're ending a tenancy without cause, you'll need either a 30-day notice or a 60-day notice, depending on how long the tenant has lived in the unit. In San Bernardino County, landlords sometimes serve multiple notices at the same time. For example, a 3-day pay or quit along with a 30-day no-cause notice. It's perfectly legal, but the notices have to be worded correctly. If the tenant ignores the notice, your next step is filing an unlawful detainer complaint with the court. Here's where AB 2347 comes in. Until recently, tenants had just 5 days to file a response. But as of January 1, 2025, tenants now get 10 court days, and that excludes weekends and holidays. That means, in practice, tenants can often take 2 full weeks to respond. If they don't respond in time, you can request a default judgment and move straight to the sheriff's stage. But if they do respond, the case will be set for trial. Once the tenant files an answer, the case moves quickly. The court typically sets a hearing within 5 to 7 court days. From there, you'll get a trial date, usually within about 20 days. Tenants may also file motions to delay the case, such as a demurrer. This can add extra hearings, but the law requires courts to handle evictions faster than other civil cases, so they don't drag on indefinitely. Still, in counties like San Bernardino and Riverside, crowded court calendars mean you should plan for some delays. After you win in court, you request a writ of possession. This is the document that authorizes the sheriff to act. The sheriff will post a 5-day notice to vacate on the tenant's door. If the tenant hasn't moved out after those 5 days, the sheriff will physically remove them and return possession of the property to you. This is the only legal way to change the locks or take back your property. Now let's talk about some local realities. In both San Bernardino and Riverside, evictions can take 35 to 90 days, depending on whether the tenant contests the case and how busy the court system is. That means your case could be over in just over a month, or it could take 3 months or more. And remember, because of AB 2347, tenants now have twice as much time to respond compared to before. That alone can add 1 to 2 weeks to your overall timeline. To recap, start with the right notice. File the unlawful detainer if your tenant doesn't comply. Understand tenants now have 10 court days to respond under AB 2347. Expect a trial within about 20 days if contested. And finally, only the sheriff can carry out the lockout. If you're a landlord in San Bernardino or Riverside, the eviction process can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to go through it alone. Our team at Fast Eviction Service has been helping landlords since 1979, and we know the local courts inside and out. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more updates on California rental laws, and drop a comment below with your biggest eviction challenge. Thanks for watching. And remember, Protecting your property starts with knowing your rights.